Hello, this is Dr. Gregory Jenkins. I'm calling from downtown Newhall. We're in our show, the Doc and Doc Show, and tonight we have a guest, a special guest with us, and I'm on the show with Dr. Judith Curts, and I'm going to have her introduce her.
Hi, I am so excited about the show today, and I'll tell you why. Occasionally, you all know that we have some other doctors on with specialties, and what we talk about and what we're trying to get across to everyone out in Santa Clarita is about health and healthy sexuality. And we've talked a little bit about nutrition and foods that are aphrodisiacs, haven't we? You know, we've done that. So I have a friend that I've known for a couple of years, and she has an amazing story. And I want you to meet, and I'd like to welcome Danielle McPartlin. Danielle is a Santa Clarita mom, housewife. She'll tell you her husband's a celebrity, and she's a celebrity now, and she has a terrific story. She is the founder of a company called Plate Therapy. So how did you get to be the founder of Plate Therapy, and what is Plate? Is it therapy? Do you talk? What do you do?
Well, I feel like I'm a therapist sometimes because I get a lot of phone calls from clients dealing with some of the similar issues that I had. This is part of the reason that I started the business, and they want to know if my story could be similar to theirs, what I did that, you know, could possibly, if they tweak this, if that could help them. So yeah, in a way, I'm not a certified therapist like you or a doctor like you, and don't pretend to be, but I feel like I can give some advice when it comes to nutrition. Well,
that's been your thing, and your company has exploded. I mean, I'm so impressed. I mean, you were starting in your kitchen, and just for yourself, and if you would, I'd really like for you to talk about your health issue and how the whole thing got started, because we say necessity is the mother of invention.
Right.
So, sorry to interrupt, but don't forget that you can call in on the show, and if you have a question for us,
call us.
We're at 298-5487, or you can email us at the Doc and Doc Show. I think it's
doc@hometownstation.com.
That's what it is.
It's okay. That's why there's two of us here. We keep each other.
So just please call in. You know, this is your show. So just call in and ask Diane any questions you want.
Danielle would know the answers. I mean, some of you are.
That's all good.
We'll make it up. No, but probably many of you all are struggling with issues that maybe she has. So please tell us your story if you don't mind. I'd love to hear it.
So I am a mom of 2 kids. After Dylan, he's my second child, he's now 7. I went through both great pregnancies, very easy, and delivered both babies fairly easy. And Dylan, when he was like 3 months old, you know, you're like, I've got to lose this weight. I've got to lose this weight. And so I tried everything. I went back to the gym. I tried Nutrisystem. I tried
all the things out there that we hear about.
That you see in the magazines, and you're just pulling at straws trying to figure out what to do that can help you. So anyway, what happened was I started feeling I had short-term memory loss. I was freezing cold. Weirdest symptoms, I started growing like a second layer of really dry skin over my eyelids, very strange symptoms. And the short-term memory loss was the scariest thing for Ryan, because my husband, I'd have this newborn infant in my arms in the kitchen, and he'd, you know, tell me what to do, and it was like he was talking to somebody that wasn't there. I was literally like
almost like early stage Alzheimer's.
Yeah, exactly. Or like,
scary.
it wasn't me. And so he's like, "What is wrong with you, woman?" And so, long story short, I right before the holidays, we were going on a trip, and I also have an autoimmune condition called vitiligo, which is loss of pigment. Michael Jackson's same condition he had. And so I went to my dermatologist, and she draws blood to check your ANAs and all your numbers to make sure, you know, that you're not out of whack. And I got to Florida, and I'm getting ready to go into Disneyland and see Mickey for the first time with Wyatt, who knew what was going on, and Dylan not so much. And she goes, where are you? You need to get to the hospital right now, to the ER. And I was like, what are you talking about? She goes, do you have thyroid disorder in your family? And I said, no. And she said, do not drive. Your number is so out of whack. 2.5 was normal for your THS numbers. Mine was greater than 110. And
I had a patient like that one time too.
Yeah.
Did you?
And I said to them, how are you walking?
Yeah.
You know, usually on the TSH, if it's 4 or 5, you're really sick. But over 100, it's terrible. Yeah.
It was awful. And
so you had to leave Disneyland?
I didn't even get in the front door. So I had Ryan's dad drive me to the hospital and got in, and they did my blood work once again, and they got it back quickly and same results. So they had popped me on some medicine quickly just to bring it down. Now, I was like, oh God, this is what does this mean? I was just glad to know what the problem was because I knew I wasn't myself. So I was really glad to know that there was something going on and it could be fixed. So I came back and I knew I had to make a lifestyle change. I knew I needed to do something. So a friend of mine, Linda Spiker, who is the organic chef up here, she's amazing.
In Santa Clarita.
In Santa Clarita. Okay. She's local. Go to her blog. I think it's the Organic Kitchen blog, I think. I'll double check that. But Linda Spiker. And she was doing something called the Whole30. And so she suggested that I read this book, and I did. And it was no dairy, no grains, no sugar, and no beans.
That's no fun.
Well, you think, right?
One
you think
would
that's
think.
no fun.
Correct.
You think that's no fun. But I knew I had to do something to get my body, my hormones, everything back in check.
That was scary.
Yeah. And not to mention, when I had gone home for that holiday, before I knew this was going on, I gained 13 pounds in 15 days, okay? And 13 pounds in 15 days. When I got back, that's what really also made me jump onto a program like this, because I was huge, and it would happen so quickly. So I was like, I gotta fix this. So anyway, I started cooking this way, and it's a very labor-intensive diet.
Daniel, would you go over the things that are no's again? No sugar, what was the rest of it?
No dairy, no grains, no sugar, and no beans.
Beans?
Yeah.
Beans, okay.
Yeah. So, and I'll explain to you about that in a second. But, so where was I? What was I saying?
You gained 15 pounds in 13
you gained
days.
15 pounds.
That's right.
You were
losing track here. So I came back and I started cooking. And on Whole30, you can't have regular ketchup. You have to make your own ketchup because there's high fructose corn syrup and there's sugar in ketchup. You can't eat any dressings that you buy at the store because they're all made with the nasty stuff that's in them, right? There are some now, Tessemae and that are at Whole Foods, but when I started doing this, they were not there. Mm-hmm. I was spending hours in the kitchen, hours and hours and hours. And Ryan started eating this way too, and he felt great. And I was sleeping awesome. I had my energy back. Everything was getting back to normal.
So the answer was food, what you're putting in your body.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
it was my medicine.
Sometimes I tell patients that, food is medicine.
Yeah.
And if you have to put the right food/medicine in your body, otherwise you're not going to do well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And people go to you and they expect to take medicine and make everything better, and when actually you can go to the grocery store and you can heal yourself.
Yes, yes. Now, I do think that this sometimes is not the cure-all. I mean, there's going to be, for example, for me, I did have to get on Synthroid to help balance me the rest of the way. It did help me get almost balanced, but I did have to get on Synthroid to help me balance the rest of the way. So, but the food really, really helped me and has made me continue to stay at a balanced number too.
So you're cooking in your kitchen for your family, for yourself. You're starting to feel good. Mm-hmm. And my understanding is some of Ryan's your husband, and his job is the chief taste tester. Other than being an actor and a celebrity, he's the chief taste tester for plate therapy. Mm-hmm. So lucky guy.
Lucky dog. I
know. So some of his celebrity friends were finding out.
Yeah. So here's what happened. So I got in really good shape then, probably the best shape of my life. And I went on a trip with my friend Tammy Wright, and she invited a girl named Lisa Probst, who was married to Jeff Probst. And we went to a resort, and she goes, "What do you do?" I wanna be healthier, and my system is super sensitive. I can't have eggs. I can't have gluten, and the list went on. And I said, "Well, I follow this program, Whole30, and I cook 90% of my meals at home, and I work out." She goes, "If I pay you, will you cook for Jeff and I? And I go, well, I've never done that before, but sure, why not? And so I would post my food on Facebook. Thank God for social media these days, right?
That's the way to go.
Yeah,
yes.
I'd post my food on Facebook, and I started getting phone calls, and people were like, will you do that for me? What are you doing?
How long ago? When did this start?
This was 1 year ago in May.
No
1 year
way.
ago. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, 1 year ago
Okay.
in May. And so I said, sure. So I luckily had 3 fridges in my house, and I was cooking. I got up to like 8 clients in my house, and I was so burned out. On the weekends, I was working 16 hours a day, you know, just food prepping everything. It was crazy. And Ryan was like, there's a real need for this. I go, I can't keep going like this. And that's where brilliant Thatcher Mills walked in my door, because Michelle goes, my husband is a chef, was an executive chef at Shame Lodge down in Manhattan Beach, and he's not working currently. Can you want to talk to him? And I said, perfect. So Ryan
Thatcher Mills.
Thatcher
He is the
Mills. He
chef.
is the brains behind this kitchen, this operation, and he is phenomenal. His partner in the business, and he has taken it to a whole nother level. So yeah, so that's kind of how it got started. And then we were in a shared kitchen up until about a month and a half, 2 months ago, and now we moved into our own location. That
Tell
is
us,
phenomenal.
where are you? Where are you?
Our new home is so nice. We are, let's see, it's 26306 Ferry Court. We are right next to Warrior Fitness, up in the Industrial Center by Sam's Club, and it's on that side of town. It's off, if you take Newhall Ranch Road all the way up and around, you'll hit it up there.
And I heard it was like a 2,000 square foot kitchen. That's a big kitchen.
It's a big kitchen.
It's a big
All
kitchen.
brand new equipment, great walk-in. It's amazing, and we're gonna be able to do some really, really fun things in there.
So you have really just exploded, and that started with you getting kicked out of Disneyland, actually.
It did. I didn't get to see Mickey that day, and
Well,
I
you
did.
can see Mickey now.
That's right. That's right. We were there just a few weeks ago.
This is, I have to I need to disclose that I've been a customer of Danielle's, and that's why I thought about it. I don't have any health issues that I know of. I haven't been kicked out of any place yet that I want to talk about. But the food is phenomenal. There are so many places where you can order food and it gets delivered. That's a new thing because everybody's so busy. But this food is, and the company is Plate Therapy. You order it, and we'll tell people how to do that. But it is so delicious. It has made my life easy. I don't go to the grocery that much anymore. And because when you go, you always buy stuff you don't need, and then you end up throwing it away, and it's not very economical.
Right.
And this is good food. It's not an economical thing at all, but it's
well, if you think about it,
I think it's well, it is
if you
for
think
me.
about it, because it's all organic, and you don't have to spend the time going to the store to buy your own groceries that you're going to waste. And then you don't spend the time prepping it. So you pull it out. We make eating healthy very convenient and very easy. If you have these choices in your fridge, you're not going to go for the bad ones.
No.
So,
and like I said, I don't have any specific health reason to eat this. So this is for everybody, and you get healthier and you feel better. It's absolutely, positively delicious. I mean, the first time I tried it, you did something, a comfort food. Everybody loves lasagna. If you don't, I don't know what's wrong with you. But so Danielle found a way to make lasagna without cheese or without noodles, and I'm eating it going, oh, you know,
it really fills
so
the taste buds for. That's the difference between our food and a lot of other companies too. Is some of our food has 16 ingredients in it. It's not like we're just steaming a piece of chicken and putting steamed vegetables in there. There are a lot of thought that Thatcher puts into each dish, and creativity. And his thing is comfort food. He loves comfort food, and that's what's fun. That is what was fun for me when I first started this, and then he took it to the whole new level. Was I loved the recipes of my mom's, of like the green bean casserole, of her lasagna, of her chicken pot pies, of the shepherd's pie. Those, I'm from the Midwest. I'm from Illinois. We like to eat. So, and we like casseroles. So, so it was fun finding a way to make those healthy and fit within the limits of Whole30.
let me ask you, what about guilty pleasures? We all, come on, you know, if we decide to start eating right, then sometimes it's, oh, I wish I could have some cookies. I wish I could have some ice cream. So do you have any guilty pleasures, or how have you solved that?
Dr. J, we've got that for you.
Oh.
We've got our paleo chocolate chip cookies.
And I've had them.
And those are gluten-free. All of our food's gluten-free, by the way, everybody. And then we also have our pecan pie bars.
That you brought today.
They're delicious. They're
we're gonna try some of her food.
After the break, we'll cut some open. Yeah.
And the cranberries that you have to use on this program, we do use them a lot. They are sweetened with apple juice. You can't use them sweetened with anything else, because that would be the bad sugar. So
okay.
Yeah. So those are actually new. Those were new last week. So we have some sweet treats. Yeah, that can help you.
So you don't have to feel like, oh, I'm on this diet and I'm eating healthy and this is so boring. Actually, I'm asking you because I know that everything is delicious, and I don't want anything else.
Right.
Can you have a glass of wine in the evening with the lasagna?
So you can paleo. Whole30 is a little bit different, and that's the difference between Whole30 and paleo. We have food for both. Is, for example, these pecan pie bars. They have honey in them. This is a coconut nectar that comes with the pancakes. These are considered paleo. Paleo, you can use natural sugars. You can use the coconut nectar, honey, agave. On Whole30, you cannot. So that's the difference. So this would all be considered paleo. The desserts are considered paleo. Let me tell you the reason they don't. And a Whole30, you can't have things that resemble bread or that are cooked with this. They call it. It's like having sex with your pants on.
That's not fun.
That's not fun.
It'd be difficult.
It's a tease. That's a tease.
How do you have sex with your pants on?
Yeah. So they don't want you to have the bread. They don't want you to have all that. So you know how they have the paleo breads and things like that. So they don't want you to have those.
But it's absolutely delicious, and we want to talk about. I mean, how can people in Santa Clarita, and maybe after we're going to go to break in a couple of minutes now, but I'd also like to tell people once again, call in if you have any nutrition questions, any health questions, and of course anything about sexuality. I'm right there. You can call at 298-5487. Call some of your friends right now and tell them to listen to this show. It's really important that actually this is such a good success story of a woman from Santa Clarita, a mom just like many moms listening, and wife who had a problem, solved it, and now she's a huge success, founder of a big company. So I think it's pretty exciting. So call your friends. You're going to have a minute at the break. It's 298-5487, and you're listening to KHTS in beautiful downtown Newhall, and that's AM 1220. And it's your hometown station. So come back.
Give us a call.
Give us a call.
We'll be right back after this break.